Hey guys, it's Danielle. Today is September 30th. I am a couple days shy of my 10-month surgiversary. I don't really have any major updates. I am still waiting on the return of my blood work from my 9-month follow-up appointment from, was that September 18th I went? I'm assuming that nothing is wrong because I haven't heard back from anything yet, and I would assume that if something was wrong they would be contacting me, so waiting for the results. Mainly what I want to talk about today is like almost before and afters. Measurements, obviously your weight, your measurements, an outfit from when you were at your heaviest. I chose to make my outfit the outfit that I wore the morning of surgery when I was getting ready at the house, in measurements. And the reason that is because I think we go through a little bit of body dysmorphia throughout this process. I certainly have. I still kind of feel like that 310-pound girl from time to time. But it is important to have reference points that you can go back and forth to when you're having one of those days where you feel like, you're stalled, you haven't gone anywhere, you haven't done anything, your weight isn't changing, and, you're going crazy trying to figure out what you can do differently. So these things, these records you start at the beginning is going to help you through those times when you're going crazy thinking, it's over with, it's done, I'm still disgusting, or any of those types of things. So I showed you guys before, I have this little notebook. This notebook I keep all my measurements in, and in 10 months I've taken measurements 7 times. And sometimes there haven't been any great big jumps, and sometimes there are big ones, or they all add up at the end. So I want to go over them with you guys just in case you're feeling discouraged, that you can see that or hear that the changes in mine. So the morning of surgery, my mom took my measurements for me. She has a seamstress's measuring tape because my mom used to be a seamstress, so it's made out of cloth and just good for taking body measurements. So my right arm started out at 17 inches. 10 months later, it's now at 13.5 for a loss of 3.5 inches. My left arm started out at 17.5 and is also at 13.5, and that's a loss of 4 inches on that arm. My neck has lost 3 inches, going from 16.5 to 13.5. And this is the biggest one for me that makes that really has reinforced how important the measurements can be. I've been at the doctor's appointment last week. I was like, doctor, when is my stomach going to start going away? I mean, it's just this ball of blubber, everything else has gotten so tiny. When is my stomach going to get smaller? He's like, trust me, it has. You might not see it, but it has gotten smaller. And when I took my measurements and I compared them against the day of surgery, it was like, wow, he was right. So my stomach started out at 59 inches, and it's currently at 43.5, which is still really big. It's still my biggest area. So that's a loss of 15.5 inches off of my waist, stomach area. My hips have gone from 50 inches to 41 for a loss of 9 inches. And my bust, and this is cool, and I'll explain it to you in a minute. My bust went from 56 inches to 47, so my bust is officially bigger than my belly now. It doesn't always look that way to me, but it's, my stomach is 43.5 and my chest is 47, so that's cool to me. And that's a loss of 9 inches around my chest. The right thigh has gone from 30.25 inches to 23.5. That's a loss of 6.6 3/4. And then my left thigh went from 30 inches to 23.5 for a loss of 6.5. Altogether, that's 57.25 inches off of my body in 10 months. That has taken me from size 20, 22s down to almost like 10s and 12s at this point. The junior 11 seems to be where I'm most comfortable right now. So that's important because lately I haven't lost weight. It's been a struggle to get rid of a pound, and I feel like I'm in a cycle of going up a couple pounds, going down a couple pounds with the same weight. And it's okay. The doctor warned me that this could happen, to expect it. I'm not going to beat myself up over it. I'm also 10 months out. Losing weight wasn't going to be as easy now as it was in the beginning. So, you know, I'll be very honest, it's been pretty effortless on my part, the weight that I have lost. You know, I stick to the diet plan. Exercise has been sporadic at best. So I'm not going to complain. You know, the first 116 pounds really just melted off. If I have to work for the next 40 pounds, it's not a big deal. And then the before outfit. Many of you guys, if you're on my Facebook, will have seen the pictures I just recently posted. But this is my before shirt. And as you can see, I mean, it's completely, I don't know, it's huge. Let's see. This is a size 22, 24 top from Lane Bryant. That if you look at some of the before pictures, it was actually kind of too small and I really shouldn't have been wearing it. It hugged everything that didn't need to be hugged. And then, you know, I've got, now see, it's kind of weird. You know, these are the pants. They're just a pair of like sweatpants I wore around the house. They are size large. I could get them on, and I wore them back then. Looking at some of the pictures and how it would hug certain bits of my body, I shouldn't have been wearing them then. But I can actually wear these now. And because the elastic in them is so thick and it's still stretchy, that these pants are okay now. I was squeezing into them before. So before and afters are important. They reaffirm in your head when you still feel like the same person you were, you know, a year ago, that you have indeed changed. And I know this is kind of a long, drawn out, maybe even a boring video, but it's important to me to help me internalize the changes that I've made. And, you know, this morning I went out, every other Sunday, my best friend and I go out to breakfast together, and we went out this morning, and we were talking about things, and, you know, even she said the last 2 months have been the biggest changes in me physically. You know, there's collarbones emerging, my face has gone down, my sister's telling me that I need to get one of those, like, things to exercise in here. I don't know. I look younger now than I did 10 years ago. It's crazy. I always plan things so far in advance. My 10-year high school reunion is going to be next summer, and I'm going to look better then than I did in high school. I graduated high school wearing size 18s and 20s, and I'm going to be going to that. I'm hoping to be going to it in a size 8. If I don't, big deal. But, you know, I know this is terrible. It's selfish. It's petty. It's catty. I want to look better than half the girls there. All those girls who didn't necessarily make fun of me, but just made me feel like I was, and maybe it wasn't even them making me feel this way, maybe it was just me. All those people that made me feel like I was less deserving or less human because of my size, I want to go there and be like, bam. And I'm kind of hoping to see a couple who have maybe turned frumpy because of, you know, whatever. I want to go there and I want to feel good about myself. So that's pretty much it for an update this week. No weight changes. Actually, you know what? There's a funny conversation that Adam and I had the other night. Our birthdays are coming up. Mine is October 30th and his is November 7th. And we've started, you know, talking about, oh, what are we going to do? And he really wants to go out to eat to this one French restaurant around here that's really expensive. And, you know, it's his birthday, so that's what I'm going to do for him. But I don't want to go. It's expensive as hell. You know, the menu it's good, healthy things on the menu if I get it without the, you know, French sauces. But I feel as though me going out to eat and spending $40 or $50 on an entree is ridiculous. I'm going to eat like a quarter of it, and it's going to go back to his apartment, into his refrigerator. He may eat it, he may not. I just feel like it's a really big waste. And he's like, well, Danielle, don't you just go enjoy going for the experience and the taste that you do get of it? And I was like, no, not for $50, I don't. He's like, come on, you sound like a recovering, you know, alcoholic here about it. And I thought about it for a couple minutes, and I turned to him and I was like, Adam, that's what I am. I'm a recovering foodaholic. And I've heard this in the community. I think I've said it before. When you are an alcoholic or addicted to, I don't know, crack, You can completely remove it from your life. You don't have to hang around those people. You don't have to associate yourself with it. You can completely cut it out of your life if you have the determination to do so. You can't do that with food. Food is a part of your life. It's a part of the culture. It's a part of celebrations. It's everywhere. So I am Danielle. I am a recovering foodaholic. And it's not easy sometimes. Sometimes you really just... I really have been struggling a lot with the last month or so with wanting to be able to eat the way I used to at times. I want to eat a Big Mac, or I don't know, a sandwich, a deli sandwich. You know, I wanted a roast beef sandwich with lettuce, tomato, and mayonnaise on it so freaking bad. And I spent the money on it. I took 2 bites of it, and it was like, I'm getting really disgusted with food. I kind of wish I didn't have to eat it at all sometimes. I wish that... I don't know how I ended up the way I was. I don't. Common sense says that, you know, you overate, you didn't exercise enough, so you gained weight. But how did I get to the point in my head where I let it happen? Or how did I get to the point where I'm so hungry I have to eat this? Or, oh, I'm so sad so I'm going to eat that? Like, how does that happen to people? I probably need to go to therapy. I just can't afford it, and overtime's just been cut at my job, so I don't know how I'm going to afford anything anymore. Does anybody else struggle with this, like wanting to eat the way you used to? And I'm not talking about the fleeting moments, because we've all had those, but sometimes I just get downright upset with myself for not being able to control my habits without surgery so that I could indulge in it every now and again. I don't feel guilty if I eat a slice of pizza or I have a bite of a brownie. I don't. I'm not going to. I am making a lifestyle change. I'm not on a diet. This lifestyle change has led to weight loss, and hopefully it will lead to more weight loss, but I'm not going to feel guilty about a slice of pizza. I'm just not. And I feel sometimes like maybe I'm supposed to feel guilty about that slice of pizza. And I'm not saying I eat pizza all the time. I'm just using it for an example. Does anybody else struggle with these things? I'm so curious to know. It's so easy when you're fresh post-op, because you literally, like, physically, you just cannot do it. Now you can. You have to make the decision. And 9 times out of 10 you make the right decision, but are you supposed to feel guilty if you don't? Are you... it's just so crazy. Alright, I'm going to get off here. I have a bunch of homework to do. I'm going to study about earthquakes and tsunamis, so fun stuff. If you've ever experienced an earthquake or a tsunami, feel free to inbox me, because I need some eyewitness accounts for one of my projects, if you're willing to help me out with that. Other than that, when I finally get this blood work results in, I will update you guys again then. Till then, talk to you later. Bye.